No Ballon d'Or, no Champions League. At 27, Kylian Mbappé stands at a cruel crossroads of destiny. A decade ago, as the world watched a teenage prodigy explode onto the scene at Monaco with his trademark electric pace, few could have predicted such an ironic script for the man anointed to succeed Messi and Ronaldo. We have long believed that by this peak age, Mbappé would have secured at least one Ballon d'Or, or, at the very least, a Champions League trophy for his mantle. Yet, as each season passes leaving a bitter aftertaste, one must wonder, how much longer will he remain shadowed by the immense weight of expectation? The Champions League quarter-final exit at the Allianz Arena served as a stark illustration of the contrast between individual brilliance and collective decay. Despite Real Madrid's 4-6 aggregate defeat, Mbappé once again proved why he is considered the world's best, fighting an uphill battle with relentless drive. By netting his 15th goal of this European campaign, Mbappé equalled the record set by his predecessor, Karim Benzema, for the most goals scored by a Frenchman in a single Champions League season. It is a phenomenal feat considering the crushing pressure he has endured since his blockbuster move to the Bernabéu in the summer of 2024. Furthermore, he etched his name deeper into the record books by eclipsing Lionel Messi. Mbappé became the fastest player to reach 70 Champions League goals, hitting the milestone at 27 years and 16 days, surpassing Messi's record by nearly 3 weeks. The statistics are undeniable. He also became the first player in the competition's history to score 10 away goals in a single season. This reflects an extraordinary run of form and a big game temperament that shines even under the most hostile atmospheres. With 40 goals in 39 appearances across all competitions this term, his output is statistically sufficient to anchor any championship-winning side, provided they possess a cohesive foundation. A dynasty in disarray. However, Mbappé's individual brilliance cannot paper over the cracks at Real Madrid. Currently eliminated from the Copa del Rey and trailing Barcelona by 9 points in La Liga, his stellar season is at risk of ending in a trophyless void. Reflecting on his departure from PSG to fulfill his Decima dreams in Madrid, the role reversal is jarring. At Real, his haul is limited to the UEFA Super Cup and the Intercontinental Cup, titles that are merely ornamental in the context of a long season. Meanwhile, at his former club, Luis Enrique has PSG on the verge of a second consecutive Champions League title. In the post-Mbappé era, PSG has evolved into a tactically disciplined collective, while Madrid appears fragile and adrift. Mbappé is undeniably a generational great, yet his quest to lead Los Blancos to European glory has morphed into a profound psychological burden. While no one doubts his pedigree, the Big Ears trophy seems to be cruelly eluding him. At the Allianz Arena, chances went begging. A mix of misfortune and suffocating pressure prevented a comeback. Moreover, a perceived lack of chemistry with Vinicius Jr. in the final third has only exacerbated Madrid's woes. Institutional crisis. The ambitious project launched last summer under Xabi Alonso is now whimpering to a close under Álvaro Arbeloa. The latter appears more preoccupied with press room rhetoric than tactical nuances. The experiment of deploying Jude Bellingham and Federico Valverde centrally to mask the void left by Aurélien Tchouaméni has backfired, leaving the team devoid of a tempo setter. Madrid played without creative spark for 90 minutes, over-relying on counter-attacks that proved too risky against a sophisticated Bayern Munich side. The absence of a true pivot in midfield has left the backline perpetually exposed. The blame, however, extends beyond the pitch to the boardroom. Arbeloa, appointed in January to succeed Alonso, faces the sack. Not since 16 years ago has Real Madrid suffered back-to-back barren seasons. Under Florentino Perez, managers rarely survive such results, Zidane being the lone exception. Despite being a club legend, Arbeloa is unlikely to find mercy in a culture that does not tolerate failure. Power struggles and medical woes. Internal reports suggest the crisis is systemic. Sources indicate that both Ancelotti and Alonso previously warned that the squad, while star-studded, lacked tactical equilibrium and required at least 3 key reinforcements. Managing the egos of Mbappé, Vinicius and Bellingham has proven an unsolvable puzzle, with some insiders suggesting the squad has become uncoachable due to excessive player power. Adding to the turmoil is a chronic medical crisis dating back to 2023. Friction between the coaching staff and fitness coach Antonio Pintus, coupled with alleged errors by the medical department, has crippled the squad's recovery cycles. Rumours of a shadow power struggle between CEO José Ángel Sánchez and advisor Anas Lagrari further destabilise Valdebebas. The lone king for Mbappé, the tragedy lies in feeling isolated within a directionless system. He breaks Messi's records and delivers on the road, but these are hollow victories. Watching his former teammates thrive under Luis Enrique's philosophy must surely sting, despite Madrid being his self-proclaimed dream destination. At 27, he is at his physical zenith but facing a vacuum of achievement. If elite honours continue to elude him, Real Madrid will require a total structural overhaul, from the dugout to the boardroom, to stop wasting his prime. Names like Jurgen Klopp, Zinedine Zidane and Mauricio Pochettino are already being linked to the hot seat. The nightmare in Munich may signal the end of a failed campaign, but it is also a clarion call. Mbappé needs an ecosystem where his talent is amplified, not stifled by tactical imbalances and institutional errors. Until then, the tragedy of the crownless king continues, a journey where record-breaking remains a sombre consolation prize in the gruelling pursuit of immortality.